Concentrate power. You're in the Dogg Zzone for an hour. Come on. You know the number. 1-900 hot dog. 1-900 hot dog. 1-900 hot dog. Yeah, 9,000.
Welcome to the Dogg Zzone 9000, the official podcast of 1-900-HOT-DOG, the last comedy website. Go to our Patreon and subscribe. It's the only happiness any of us have left. Patreon.com/1-900-HOT-DOG. I'm enduring and beloved internet sensation Sean Baby, and my partner was called also entered in the 2017 Man Monthly's Top 75 Top Bun Fever. He's the great Robert Brockway.
It's one of my proudest achievements. Here's a Brockway fact. The Kool-Aid man has put me in the hospital 3 separate times. No follow-up questions.
I was there for 4 of those. Our guest is a found footage pioneer, co-creator of Everything is Terrible, and most importantly, history's leading collector of Jerry Maguire VHS copies, is Dimitri Simakis.
Hello. Thanks for having me, gang.
Of course. We met many years ago, I guess over the internet. You had me down for a Everything is Terrible festival in San Francisco and had an awesome time. We should tell the people what that is, though, if they're not familiar with Everything is Terrible.
Yeah. Everything is Terrible is essentially an found footage art collective. There's kind of a bunch of us that have come in and out over the years, but it's still kind of a core team of a few folks. And we started off by, collecting found footage inspired by places like SeanBaby.com. That level, that first round of found footage clips you had was extremely inspirational back in the day. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
And we've just expanded from there. We do movies, live shows all around the world. Yes, we do collect. We're about 45,000 Jerry Maguire VHSs deep. It's ruining our lives.
Holy shit.
Do installations, all sorts of crazy stuff. So it's a wild time. And please stop sending us tapes, everybody. Please, for the love of God.
How do you store them? Where do you store? Do you have to have a separate building just for them?
We do. We have a truck bed, like an Atlas truck bed, in a field in Apple Valley, surrounded by guard dogs 24/7. It's just like a kind of a hillbilly storage facility, but it works perfectly. And it is very boring. My partner in Everything is Terrible, Commodore Gilgamesh, he steals those bins from CVS. He's stolen thousands of them over the years. It's like what they get whatever in. And it's just very boring. They're just stacked to the ceiling in a truck bed, just, probably at, probably like 120-degree heat right now.
So you don't let somebody cruise by and just like grab a couple Maguires.
We wouldn't let anyone grab them. What are you talking about? We're not going to let them take that from the collection.
I feel like it only sucks in Jerry Maguire. Like if I saw 45,000 Jerry Maguire tapes, I would probably spend the rest of the year looking for Jerry Maguire tapes to add to the pile. Like, there's no way I would take one from the pile.
That's the thing. Yeah. And our fans, I kid, our wonderful fans have been incredible. They've been sending us, that's 99% of that, if not more, are from P.O. Box that people send. We have a Dropbox in East Los Angeles, just like a little 24-hour slot. People, at shows, of course, people bring them. Sometimes people bring like 500-600. That has definitely happened multiple times at once.
Holy shit.
It's a living nightmare, but no, we do want to do something with them. We want to bring them out again. We did the video store in what was that, 2017 in LA. We'd love to do something again with them. It's just it's like even then with 15,000, I think is what we had at the time, that was too many to put in that building. So we kind of had to like double, triple stack. I don't know where we would put 45,000+. But we're going to figure something out soon. I really want to do a book where I catalog every single copy somehow, just like every 99-cent covers, every like time somebody wrote their name. It's pathetic. It's endless.
At some point, even if it's purely accidentally, you are going to wind up taking Jerry Maguire out of this world entirely. Like you're just going to have all of them and nobody else will have it.
That's what we keep thinking that's going to happen and just drive up the price. Or my goal has been, why don't we sell? Because of course we want to build the pyramid, but of course that's also like hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to do properly. So I've been saying, why don't we just sell to some like Art Basel, whatever, some like, I don't know, somebody who like can't buy NFTs anymore or like doesn't know how to waste their money and just be like, okay, buy the collection. You can have it. It's yours. You just have to let us build a temple in its honor where they can be stored. I feel like crazier things have happened, but I don't know.
What is Kuba up to?
Good question. I think
he would love that.
Yeah, I think something not cool. Didn't he get?
He just seems like an NFT guy. I don't know. I get that vibe.
I feel like Jay Moore seems more like an NFT guy, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Mm-hmm. What about that piece of shit guy that raised the price of the AIDS medicine that bought the Wu-Tang album?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, would you take blood money?
I mean, at this point, isn't it all blood money? I don't know.
That's an interesting point.
Philosophical.
This is going to sound crazy, but about a year after we launched our site, 1-900-HOT-DOG, we saw you sometimes work with a bizarre video curation place called 1-800-HOT-DUCK.
Oh my God, I forgot about
that's
that.
kind of weird, right? Like, that's not a good sign that everybody's in the right dimension, right?
She is based out of Philly. Highly recommend checking out her stuff. It's incredible. Like, she makes us do that thing that we hate doing that people do to us all the time, but it's like, where do you get all that footage? I don't understand where her like purview is or where it comes from or where she gets it, but it's all like incredible public access, Japanese game show stuff. Like, I mean, it's just so endless, but that is crazy. Funny. I thought that too. Yeah. Small world.
Is she pissed at us? Does she know that we exist?
Even if she did, I doubt she would care. She's very cool.
Wait, hold on.
It was total accident.
Is she pissed at us? Wait, did she come first? Are we pissed
I
at
think
her?
she might have come first. I think we decided when we found that. Yeah, I think we were like, I think we stole this from her.
Oh no.
No, I doubt she would mind and probably be honored all the same.
All right. Well, if the shoe was on the other foot, I would be furious right now.
I do like your guys' approach and her approach of just putting all the footage together and kind of not giving context. We kind of go the opposite direction where we like do a lot of deep dive research. And so we're like, here's what the madman's up to now. I know it's just very different approaches.
We want to do more of that in podcast form, but it's just like, even then we even started one. It's not really a podcast with Spectre Vision Radio. We just started one where they're like, put your clips up. Just put them up like in any order. And we're like, don't you want sort of a deep dive? And they're like, well, yeah, but that would take too long. So just put your clips up. Yeah, no one is watching these. I mean, our views are in the dozens, but I'm always desperate to like do deeper dives on this stuff. And because we've been meeting all these folks over the years, we would just do like a live show and then never record it or just never do anything with it again. So like, I bless your hearts for what you've been doing.
We love it. It's the
and
best.
Your approach. I love it. Yeah.
Hey, another question. Do you know the Wiggles lady that like does the little stamps with the ink and like she'll be like, look at all of those Wiggles.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm
I believe the Found Footage Fest gang did a great compilation of that. Yeah. We never found that in the wild ourselves, but yeah, that's amazing. It's a classic.
I own a copy of that.
Incredible.
And she actually, I talked about this in the podcast, I don't know, a month or so ago. She actually got my first YouTube channel taken down, the one I used to just post videos for cracked embedding. And she like went crazy, did like 3 copyright strikes in one day about me making fun of her little Wiggles video. And so I just thought maybe you'd had a run-in with her. Because normally you do this found footage and you never hear from the crazy people. And this lady was like on it. Like that morning.
In the early days? Was this like the first, let's say 3 years or 2 years of YouTube, give or take?
It was probably 2010, 2011.
Even then, yeah, that kind of makes sense. We had, like around that time, we've had our channels taken down so many times, and it's always like one person to blame or the third strike was whatever. We had a strike on our biggest, most, longest lasting channel it was like a coordinated effort from some Christian movie studio. It was like clearly all done in one day. So we've been there. Yeah. I know that feeling. Yes.
Yep.
Not fun.
I love a vindictive madman.
Yeah. Oh, I've had people call my house before because like they found my number through like the old blogger page. It's incredible.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. But they're calling like my parents' house where I grew up. It's just very
to get mad that you
and to like talk
video
something over about the rights because they think that money is made on YouTube and stuff. But more often than not, we have been great pals with so many creators. I mean, Andy Holmes, aka Gerbert, I was just talking to this afternoon. Cat Massage Lady. Many B Action Star, all that kind of stuff. It's way more fun once you like talk to, there are a couple people that have been like pissed at us at first. And once we explain what we do, again, I think it was especially in the early days before like YouTube kind of made any sense to people over the age of like 30, it was harder to explain. Now it matters a lot less. I feel like everyone just kind of gets it. Hip hop,
Right.
This Is Hip Hop Lady was a big one that she was like, went into like a dark depression that we didn't know about for like a decade and has come out of the woodwork now, and we've become friends with her again. It's a whole thing. We're trying to do something with her, but yeah, it's wild.
Now, is that how each of them are saved in your phone? Is it Cat Massage Lady and Nicole?
No, I just figured it'd be the easiest way to explain. Mary Jean Ballner, please show some respect.
God.
Like I wouldn't be. Oh, of course, Cat Massage Lady.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Alex Jew, the immortality guy. Of course, yes. Good friends. Brockway, we better do your plug before you take down the site.
I'm so weary. I'm so weary of it already, but I'm going to be doing it until the day I die. I, of course, am legally obligated to plug my new book. It's called I Will Kill Your Imaginary Friend for $200. It comes out January 27th, 2026. Long story short, I fucked up. I'm an asshole. I fucked up. I thought it'd be cute if I refused to promote the book, and they're suing me now. So here's the promotion. Okay. I don't want to go to prison. I don't really want to go to prison for it. So yeah, it was fine. See, my legal defense given to me by my AI lawyer is that if I double down and convince everyone that it was a bit that I was not promoting my book, that counts as promotion for my book. So yeah. So that's the direction we're going. If anybody that looks like official, if anybody sketchy asks you, that's what's happening. You have to buy the book, because if I go down, I take everyone with me. I take everyone involved with this site with me. I have all the passwords. I have the passwords to this podcast. It's going down. It's coming right down with me. You do not have to like my book to buy it. You just have to like this podcast or the website and save them from me.
Did the AI lawyer say anything else?
She told me to kill myself, but that's like our inside joke.
Okay.
Okay, good. Is it weird that it's getting like... It's starting to get a little tempting. Like at first I was like, that's weird. Like, I don't know. But now it's like, I don't know. It just sounds like it sounds like a good idea the more she says it to me.
As the legal fees add up and stuff, I can see that happening.
Exactly.
It's just getting a little less funny.
You said it's not coming out until January?
Yeah, man.
You've got time. That's still plenty of time to promote.
That's
or
what
not
I'm
promote
hoping.
For the bit.
Look, we're hoping I don't go to prison. But like, we're not planning on it. We're not planning on me staying a free man. There are plans for if I go to prison, rightfully, deservedly so.
So Dimitri, we have a great crew of contributors. We've been doing a series of origin stories, the weird shit we saw at young ages that made us pursue these lives of nonsense archaeology. And as a leading member of that community, I was interested in what yours was and why you picked it.
Mine is the Kool-Aid Wacky-Zany video from 1991. When you first asked me, I was thinking more in terms of like cursed media, something that like, really fucked me up, or something that just like really disturbed me or whatever. And I was like, I don't really have anything there. But no, it took about 5 extra seconds to be like, it's 100% the Wacky-Zany Kool-Aid Man tape from 1991.
And this had like a positive effect on you, or did you see this and think like, this is fucking stupid?
No, I absolutely loved it. And even when rewatching it for this show, I was like, I can't believe how much like cadence I'm still remembering. The just like the way everybody speaks, the songs, whatever it is. I'm just like, wow, that is just permanently etched into my brain, and there's nothing I can do about it, and it involves so much. It has like found footage elements, like public domain stuff, kind of remixing in a very primitive, but like, late 80s, early 90s kind of way.
Labor intensive.
Much more than it needed to be, I feel like, for a KB Toys promotional item selling sugar water.
I kind of hated the commercials because I always thought like the Kool-Aid stuff was like youth group counselor with a rubber chicken type of like comedic intent, or like no comedic intent behind the silliness.
Other than just being like wacky,
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the sort of background noise of wackiness. And I always thought that the footage they found was sort of vague tropes, but also I think they pulled from the same old footage that every video production house had in the 90s. So it's like chimps and cartoons and fat guy getting hit by cannonball and silent film
plane
double
going
takes.
into the roof, that that footage, all that stuff.
Yes.
No,
they used that in this
and
Kool-Aid
they
video.
literally used that in this. Yes, there was something about it even then that there was like a separation, because it's like, okay, I wasn't a kid in the 50s and 60s raised on like black and white TV or whatever. Not that they were raised on that, but you know what I mean? It's like clearly referencing an era that I didn't understand and was sort of annoyed by it, but still the part that won me over was the like, hey, you're a cool kid, aren't you? And it's like, yeah, obviously. 1991, I'm 9 years old. I'm listening. Go on.
Excuse me, would an uncool kid be watching and owning the Kool-Aid Wacky-Zany video? I don't think so.
Which, by the way, you could only acquire. I looked it up to be like, wait, how did this happen? Because I thought I remember saving up a certain amount of points, but not as many as it originally said. I think there were a couple ways. It was like 150 Kool-Aid Man points originally you could send in, get it back for which is such a funny concept, to be like, you would have to pay money in order to get a
for a commercial
videotape that's a commercial for the thing you've been drinking and buying, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think this was like a version after that was like far less points and like $10-15 at KB Toys. And KB, for those who don't know, how do we explain it? It's like, it was a shitty kind of mall toy store. I take it you grew up with them.
Sure.
Yeah. It was like
a Toys R Us, but much, much smaller, and they didn't have bikes. It was just, a toy store you'd see in a mall. That was, I mean, you're a kid. Toy store fucking rules.
Yeah, but it was still a toy store, and it was still like, even then you could tell the prices were higher. The commercial plays at the beginning of this vid, and I forgot that their tagline, their slogan was KB Toys, the toy store in the mall.
Was that really their slogan at one point?
That's what it said, at least on one of the ads, and I was like, yeah, well, that's
present. Accounted for.
They kept trying other things, but that's what everyone called it. So
that's where we are. I love the now mostly gone system of these videos that you had to unlock, like their video game challenges.
Yes, exactly.
So that you probably didn't know anybody else that had this video, and so you would go over to a friend's house and be like, "What the fuck is this?" And they would have to tell you like, "Oh yeah, I collected box tops for like a year to get that." And why would you do that? Why do you have that? What is it? It was just this whole like,
because it gave us power. It was something. It was something to own. It felt like a cheat code. It felt like a life hack before that was coined, where it's like, I can't believe what we have unlocked. Like, this is something that not just anybody can get. Like, you can't just go into the store and get this. You need to get at least 15 Kool-Aid points.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're the achievement badges of childhood.
Yes.
I think it happened more often than you think. I've seen this in Goodwill multiple times. I think I've been given 2 copies from like just people I know, and I had one already. So I have 3 floating around.
That's so funny. And it was part of like, I don't know when you guys were born, but I was born in 82, and one of the first like whatever you want to call this, that I can remember, just like a very early memory, was the "Where's the Captain" from Captain Crunch campaign, or it's like the captain's missing.
The same director.
And then looking this up just like a couple of days ago, it was the same producer, director, writers, which is insane.
Yeah, this has a firm aesthetic of like late 80s, 90s, where it's just everything's like kind of a hip hop remix of public domain silent footage.
Yes. And again, there's something slightly annoying to it, but enough of the humor in the rest of the tape won me over, which I'm sure
but that was
we'll
cool.
get to. Yeah.
It was cool to be annoying as shit in like the 90s.
That too. Yeah, that's true. Good point.
Did you ever play Crisscross Make My Video on Sega CD?
No, but I remember being very into the concept of it, being like, oh my God, Sega CD, that rules. Yeah, for sure.
It was a lot like, that's the same footage. And so
really?
When I go through, I'm like, yeah.
Oh, that's
amazing.
amazing.
It had so much crossover.
That's incredible. Yeah, I'd love to know the like public domain, because it's like AV Geeks is a company that's like That's like a guy who figured it out where like he's been collecting 8mm educational stuff just like by the thousands for decades. And as far as I understand it, he uploads it all like daily to YouTube, but also has a company that like licensed that stuff. That makes sense now. I wonder how limited that stuff was then. If it was literally just like one or two companies that own that stuff, somewhere in like Illinois, whatever, and just everybody who needed just content would call him up. I guess that's how it worked.
It had to have been like one guy who just pulled all the whatever interesting stuff he found and put it onto a collection, and that sort of made the rounds.
What do you need? Chimp fighting an airplane? I got chimp fighting an airplane.
Yeah.
I must have seen that chimp fighting an airplane so many times as a child.
Local ads would do them. Of course, like later on, it was like a more, I guess, refined version of it was like that dumb show Dream On HBO. A little different, but similar. I know, and I was trying to think of specifically what else did this, but I think it was just so much. Just like would have been like bubble tape ads, whatever. Just something in between interstitial stuff was just like go back and forth, reverse the footage, which again, as a 9-year-old, still kind of still feels mind blowing, to be honest. Like, whoa, they went back and forth with it like a turntable. Not that I knew what that was either, really, but still.
Yeah, it's like pre-Tim and Eric, like zany, like DJ Doug Pound joke edit stuff.
So,
and it's
absolutely.
And it's so high effort. Like you look at this and like every word in this Kool-Aid rap. Oh, I should have mentioned by now that Kool-Aid is black as fuck. He comes in and
that was big.
He starts rapping, and every word he hits in the rap song has old-timey footage. So like if he says rug, somebody's getting a toupee yanked off when he says so. Like you could just feel the effort of the millions of clips these people must have gone through to
and did they do it first? Like
every last noun.
Yeah, there's like a college radio sort of like Fireside Theater kind of Mad Magazine sort of like aspect to it, like lazy. Not lazy, like raw, like a little bit just like rough around the edges. And I think like even like the mics kind of pop a lot in this, like, like it's not that professional. And I think that resonated with us in a way with my brother and I think we were just like, we get it. There's something kind of inside jokey about this. I also think just anyone breaking the fourth wall, like, I don't know what it was for you guys that did it, but it's like, Simpsons, Beavis and Butthead, Mystery Science Theater. It's funny how revolutionary that felt looking back on it of just like, oh, it was kind of not really the first time ever, but definitely like the most polished or whatever you want to call it version of that, where it was like ironic, kind of Gen X, winking at the camera, breaking the fourth wall enough that it was just like, holy shit. They get it. They're talking to me specifically. How did how is this happening? This is incredible. All again, I'm not going to say it's like the greatest work of art ever, but it's it sticks with you.
That's true. It's true. I should play the intro just please, to sort of let people know what I'm talking about with Kool-Aid being black.
T minus 10 seconds. 9.
Oh yeah, y'all. This is the Kool-Aid Man.
6,
Come a little closer.
5,
We're about to bug out on a fun tip.
3,
Just you,
2,
me, and the TV.
ignition.
I looked it up. That's a guy named Boogie J, I think. And I could not find him. There's a lot of J Boogies.
Yeah. I couldn't find him either, but doesn't he sound really familiar?
He does.
He does kind of sound familiar. Yeah. I was just so worried that's a white guy doing the voice.
That's what I wondered
all I just wanted to verify. I just wanted to verify that was that he was allowed to talk like that. I did cut it off before the rap. Let me play some of the rap.
Yeah, please.
Check it out. While you're laying back, maxing and relaxing to my slamming track. Well, I'm the K to the O to the O to the L. A-I-D, man, huh? Can't you tell? Stick out your tongue, the bell's rung, Listen to my song, You can't go wrong, cause Kool-Aid is lounging and lounging is chilling. I'm the Kool-Aid Man, top billing. See what I'm saying, G? It doesn't make sense to me. Exert any energy when I can be plan B. You gotta take time off to just bug and sweep responsibility up under
the rug. That's the toupee. Yeah, so every single word has a little video clip. I made this reference already, but it is like a world record speed run of Marky Mark Make My Video.
Yeah.
I have a controversial statement for the time period.
Please,
for
yeah.
1991, right? Mm-hmm. For the time period, for a corporate like send away, but send packages, get Kool-Aid points by it kind of video, that rap is probably way better than I expected.
Right?
I can't. You'd never meet someone who disagrees with that. That's 100% true.
Okay,
Like,
I felt like that was going to be
the number one rap song for that year. Definitely was Ice Ice Baby.
Like,
oh, was it
for
really? Yeah, that sounds right.
1991 corporate rap, like you expect something real dire, and that was like a legitimate rap.
It went harder than it needed to, and listening to it again, not that I'm an expert in any way, but it doesn't sound like a white guy. But I do love the line that he says in a couple. He says it, I think, deeper into the song. Skibiddly diddly dee fee fi fo fum. I don't remember what it rhymes
Right.
with. Probably something fun or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, again, he didn't have to go that hard.
It's some Busta Rhymes shit.
I feel like I know who it is. It's like in the back of my brain somewhere of like, oh, I've heard that before. If you know who it is, somebody tell us. Because I could not find him. I went looking too.
Okay, so he is the K to the O to the O to the L 8-man. And all this stuff is just happening. There's car crashes and Three Stooges. And then they cut to a commercial break for Too Many Hedgehogs in Your Kitchen. And I know you love this video, but this was like really annoying to me because it highlighted the writing. And I think the writing is where this gets so much worse than like the editing.
Yes.
Because this was just someone found a funny old movie of, seemingly talented for the time, like comedic filmmakers making this video about a guy chasing a big old beaver monster around. And it's silly. And then the whole thing was like, do you have too many hedgehogs? We'll get rid of your hedgehogs. And it's like, God.
That does not pass the test of time. No, that one I was like, oh God, this sucks. Harry's Hedgehog Hideaway, yeah.
Yeah, here's what bugged me about Harry's Hedgehog Hideaway. Like, I don't know the timeline, how the timeline syncs up with this video. I have a feeling maybe this is kind of the cutting edge of this aesthetic that permeated so much of like the early 90s. But how it's supposed to go is that when you do the little voiceover thing, you subvert or change the tone of the film. Like you don't do a comedy bit about a guy trying to catch like something like an animal, like a hedgehog or something, when the actual video is just that. It's a comedy sketch about a guy trying to catch somebody dressed up in a big rodent costume. Like the voiceover you're doing, the wacky comedy voiceover you're doing is literally just what's happening on screen.
Yeah,
right.
You're stepping on a joke.
It's
foundationally wrong.
Yeah. But, I mean, okay, it's not the strongest first sketch to go on, I won't lie. But, now there's an interesting thing. Both versions on YouTube are edited down. You got to go to the Internet Archive version to see the full unedited, which is interesting because it's like the one bit, one of the ones that got cut off on YouTube is because this very much holds up. I don't remember the exact order, but it holds up so well. The Deo sketch, did you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Because well, again, if you have the original tape, yeah, of course. It's cut off on a lot of the YouTube one. That one I will stand by. It is still so funny to me. That one is still kind of everything that it needed to be and more, where it's like, I can't tell if that was also bought from, this has nothing to do, we really divert heavily from Kool-Aid in all of these kind of sketches. It keeps coming back to Kool-Aid.
Yes.
Right?
I'll give them this one. Because at the very least it's got punch in there. I think that's what they were. That was it. Like, that's enough.
That's true.
They say
I guess you're
punch.
right.
Kool-Aid
That's
punch.
enough. Yeah, you're right. That's it.
This is it feels like a 70s Sesame Street cartoon.
100%. That's what it is. I think that's why it resonates, because
it's super lovable and
just lovable,
and weird,
funny. Again, like playing with audio, that's familiar. I was a huge that was like an essential cassette as a kid, like the Best of Harry Belafonte Volume 1 or something. And so it was like
course, yeah.
extra funny that it's like, oh my God, they're remixing it or whatever. They're turning it into a sketch that felt very, I think had to have been animated literally like with markers, it looks like. And it's beautiful. Like it really does kind of hold up.
It's really stylish.
And I think that's the one that like really stuck out the most aside from that and the interactive game show, which is still incredible. Of just like how how do we explain? I don't know if I'm jumping too far ahead, right? That's like somewhat in order, right?
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
Oh no, there was that great one of the crosswalk explode. Yeah, of course. The press button to cross the street, press button to explode building. Come on, that's genius.
Yeah, no, that was fun. Then there's a 50s sci-fi movie thing that was frustrating for me because they redub it, and here they're doing what Brockway said. They're taking something that was one thing at one point, and now it's a different thing, but they just keep lip shading it over and over. It's like, hi, we are redubbing lips, meaning I am saying a thing that I wasn't originally saying. It's like,
come
yes,
from the planet lip sync.
I'm glad you're on board. I'm glad you're on board with the fucking concept you're doing.
As if they need to keep explaining it to again 9-year-olds, but still, it was. Right. You're talking, that what was it called? I can't remember, but the interactive game show was just like a kind of genius idea again when you're watching a VHS and thinking, how does it be able to read my mind? It's one of those tricks. I don't know what you call it, but it's like pick one of these 9 blocks. Now move to 2 to the left, 1 up, blah 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 blah, and you basically end up on Kool-Aid every time. Big surprise, right?
I do think that could have been 20 minutes shorter.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Okay, well,
yeah, I don't agree with you on this one.
As an adult,
I feel like it started magical. I think the idea of it is magical, but it took so long that eventually you're like, I don't know, you're tricking me somehow. Like I don't get it yet, but I know this has,
Yeah.
It just lingers so long, you feel the deception.
You feel it a lot this time. Again, I think that's like a attention span thing I didn't have as a kid, where it was like, well, it's this, and I'm going to watch this so many times. So like, clearly I'm not that bored, because it might be months until the next VHS tape enters my house. Who knows? Somebody called it online. Somebody on one of the YouTube uploads described it like so well as analog brain rot, and it's like, yeah, that's exactly what this whole thing. And it's just this mismatch of whatever that just like it doesn't really work. It even is kind of annoying as a kid, but I think that's part of it. I also once made with another dude from Everything Is Terrible a found footage corporate rap mega mix in kind of a girl talk style called Everything Is Terrible Does the Hip Hop Volume 1, Getting a Bad Rap. And I can't believe I didn't use this. I think I just forgot, which is insane. But
it was too sacred to you. You knew.
I guess it was. Now I'm making it seem that way. Yeah, that kind of is. But yes, some of this does. And I remembered at the time being kind of annoying. But like you said, that kind of annoying thing was part of being a kid, of like, yeah, you don't get it. We're here to annoy you. It's like punk rock.
Especially the 90s. The 90s was all about just like, we're a bunch of little shits, and that rules.
Yeah, and that rules. And that was enough. But what else? There was the Dom DeLuise newspaper dispenser sketch that they stretch out into 3 parts, which I forgot about.
We have to talk about that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was not a 3-parter.
Not a 3-parter, no.
This was
not
grand total a 2-minute long sketch. And it's like a throwback to silent comedy, right? Like it's not silent. Like the soundtrack to it is recorded, on the
they even talk a little,
They even talk a little,
but it feels a little Sesame Street in that same way, but it's really, whatever, like a Charlie Chaplin kind of thing with him trying to get a newspaper. He can't open it. A kid comes up, does like a kind of secret move, hits it a few times, walks away. He comes back, then he starts fighting with it. It starts biting him. It does the classic. He gets taken away by the cops at the end. In this police state universe that we're in, they arrest Dom DeLuise, and then he does that classic with as the like puppet newspaper dispenser, kind of like goes back and forth on a string. Classic comedy.
Yeah.
I think the giggling creature at the end will always make me laugh. That still holds up.
That's all fine. My problem comes is that it stops and says to be continued.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Twice. Well,
be
first time it's
interrupted
like
by,
a kid comes up and
Yeah.
smacks the machine, and then Tom DeLuise looks at it, and it's like, oh, to be continued. You're going to have to wait to find out if he gets a newspaper. I don't give a shit.
What?
Why
It
would
really
they
doesn't
split
add
this up?
to it at all. No, I can't. Again, as we're going through it, combing through. Look, I can't say. It is. I guess it is cursed in that way, in that it is not anything to
The
be
choices
like
they made
proud
were
of with the choices they
really
made.
bad.
Right.
But yeah, that's what makes it feel
it's a
cursed
timing-
to me. Is like
No, you're
it's
right.
not. They do get the vibe right. This like aesthetic of these skits and stuff. They did get it right in other ones. This is the only one that's split up and says to be continued. So why did you do it with this one? If you know how to do it right, it's wild that you know how to do it right and wrong, and you're doing both.
And it's not
On
like
the same
you're
take.
stretching for time by like looping it. You could have just stretched it out in one, and it would have been totally fine. No one would have
Wait, they
questioned
did stretch for time because they have it to be continued, and then after the second one, they have a recap
They have a
of like
no,
the
you're
4
right.
seconds of this thing that you watched.
Which again, I will defend and be like, that was part of the humor to be like, remember that thing from 5 minutes ago?
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
He
but
kinda
like,
does it in a
you
funny
don't
way
know the
where he's
intent.
like-
You're like,
Yeah.
do you guys know this is stupid? I can't tell where you are in on the bit. I don't. Because it's such an insane decision to break this up already. Like, it's such a timing gag. And like, here's the punchline. And they're like, what if we broke this setup into 4 parts and separated them by like magic tricks and
Yes.
chimpanzees fighting planes? Like, I don't think that helps at all.
In fact, I think that's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Saying it out loud does sound kind of insane. Because it added maybe 30 seconds extra to it or whatever. And again, they could have figured out
even that.
another
Right.
And
Kool-Aid
it's a
rap
half
or
hour
something.
long. Like nobody's struggling for time. Like this is you got what you got with these things. Sometimes you got these things and they were like 17 minutes long, and you're like, that was I spent my whole summer for this.
Right. Right.
Well, the next one was worth it because it was a story they Frankenstein together of chimpanzee footage from what seems to be an old movie where a chimpanzee is climbing onto a flying plane. I'm 90% sure they filmed this by just having a chimpanzee clean
No, it's pretty
to
upsetting.
a real flying plane.
Yeah, it's pretty.
yeah.
It's
for dear life.
Does not look faked in any way. It looks like just a brave, drugged up whatever chimp was just shoved
Hero
on
chimp.
that plane and was just held on for dear life.
But again, this is okay. This makes that first one with Harry's Hedgehog hideaway. This is what makes Harry's Hedgehog hideaway crazy, is because this is what I was talking about. They actually spliced together like 3 or 4 silent footage movies to tell this little story, this little gag story about a chimpanzee that climbs on the plane and gets in a fight with the pilot, and then there's a lady on the ground that's like, she lies to her parents and says, if I'm lying, may a monkey in a plane crash on my head, and then the monkey in the plane crashes on the head. Like, they made their own little thing. And you're like, okay, so they get it. So why didn't they get it at the start? Are we watching them learn live?
Yeah, I think we're watching the first cut as they just got better.
Maybe they spent months trying to find a second like video about a guy in a giant beaver costume and just couldn't. They're like, God, what are we gonna do? We wrote ourselves into a corner with this hedgehog thing. Whereas chimpanzee, they're like, we got fucking
No, that's
6,000
gold. We're
chimpanzee
saving it for
movies.
closer to the climax. Sure, right. We got to
We
keep
can
them
chop
hooked.
together whatever we want.
Also, that pilot really looked like he was fighting that chimp. I'm gonna say that part was authentic too.
Yeah, once
Like,
again,
I think
very
I think
upsetting.
at that
thing.
point, the chimp drugs wore off, and the chimp was like, I don't want to be out on the wing of this fucking plane anymore. And the pilot was legitimately like, oh my God, now I have to fight a chimp while flying a plane.
You've of course seen the Dogville shorts from the 30s. It sort of is reminiscent of that. It was these shorts that were sort of similar to like an R Gang whatever kind of thing in terms of length and humor and style, but it all starred dogs dressed up as people, and most of it's fine. No, I'd say about half of it is like, oh, they're torturing those dogs. They're definitely torturing those dogs.
God.
Yeah, there's an
I feel like that's an
in memoriam at
important
the
part
end.
of
Yeah, for sure.
of these redubbings. Not just changing the context, but I think something that makes this type of comedy really, really good is when you're reading it and there's this whole other meta level of you trying to figure out what the fuck was happening in the original.
Sure.
Because like, what was this movie about? A guy fighting a chimp on a plane? Like, who made it? Why haven't I heard of it? And like, that's And you have to do that while you're also, whatever.
And then you realize,
whatever story they're building.
Whatever.
You realize, I haven't heard of it because that Chimp and Possibly pilot died making this.
Yeah.
The national tragedy that no one wants to talk about, yeah.
Lost footage of a real cursed production.
Like Faces of Death, yeah.
So then we come back to the second part of Dom DeLuise trying to get a newspaper. This one I think was funny because it opens and he's like, okay, cool, he's getting a newspaper. And then it says to be continued as if like, wait, no, that's what he wanted. That's fucking the end.
He's got his goal. I was floored when they did it again.
Yeah.
No, you're not to be continued again.
It's so, that's the part that even as a kid, not that exactly, but just in general, back to the chimp thing or whatever with the dubbing, like, I don't know how to describe it, where it's them parroting, it's like, again, like, not even Gen Xers, because it's 91, whatever it is, them doing the, like, parody of the 50s, that, like, hello, boys and girls, like, that type of thing that's kind of annoying no matter what age you are, but there's still... like the irony, I guess, comes through, and that alone kind of works, I guess. I'm trying to figure out why I wasn't just so annoyed by it, I never watched it again, but something about it stuck with me to be like, no, there's, they get it. They understand something, there's something here in like a found footage kind of avalanches since I left you kind of album kind of way, DJ Shadow introducing kind of way. There's an art to this.
Right. The next one is maybe not their strongest either. It's a workout, but it's not like when I saw there's a workout, I was picturing, a guy in a Kool-Aid man suit leading a workout routine, which was, of the era. But no, it's just another rap song kind of about aerobics with, random footage of people falling down in 1930. It's not a workout.
It is important to say, that's right, if we haven't made it very clear already, they shot nothing original for this. It was all, there's a few graphic cards that they kind of splice in between stuff, but not a single original frame was shot, right?
No.
And then any archival footage from Kool-Aid is just old commercials that they, again, reverse, forward, kind of turn to, whatever. It's just kind of like remix over and over and over again. Yeah. That is, which makes it extra hilarious to me.
A few of these cases, like the Deo song that we were talking about earlier, like those were just existing skits from an actual record that had nothing to do with Kool-Aid Man. So they just like bought the right. Maybe they didn't buy the rights.
Maybe they didn't buy?
Or
they might have just put
it's interesting to think about where stuff like that lived back then.
Yeah. Like where was that from?
Where was it from? Was it from the same? It's a totally different era from the, public domain stuff. So was that a short film that someone made that got into like some acquiring, somebody acquired it from like an animation festival? It's like, this is pre-Spike and Mike, like any of that stuff. So it's hard to understand.
I did track one down. We haven't got to it yet, but I just to see if there was one, if I could find one where one came from, then it would sort of unlock the rest.
Yeah.
And yes, basically it was exactly what you're saying. They would just find people that had made a short film or something, and then we're like, well, I don't know what else to do with it. I guess that was it. Because like, there's not really a venue for those sorts of things anymore. So I imagine they could get them very cheap after they were made and used for whatever their original purpose was.
Yeah.
And there's just...
Or just get away with it.
Or just get away with
That's
it.
possible.
Nobody's saying they paid these people for it.
That's true. The credits go by, and I think there's one card, and it just has the writer-producers of everything done in post. So
they do list where they got them from, but like...
Oh, does it? I forget already. Okay.
But do you pay them?
With like a single credit to each one.
Is that
so
it?
Like,
yeah.
Whatever their director or producer, whatever they decided is the one credit each of those short films gets. God, what's next? Dog news tonight?
Come on, that holds up. That's so good. Dog news tonight.
All right.
Dog puns.
There's a dog on a hang glider in this.
Yeah, there is.
And then a dog doing like just a bunch of old silent film footage. One dog does a backflip. I swear to God, that dog gets fucking 6 feet off the ground.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, did they filmed that on the moon? That dog is super dog.
This all makes sense. Like, kids love dogs. You're putting in like a new edgy context. You're making a bunch of terrible puns, which fulfills the annoying factor. So like it's hitting on all the bases. What I found interesting was the nature of the puns. Like we had California, and Massachusetts. And they're like, okay, those are for the kids. And then one of them was, this dog's name is Beowulf.
That one's so good.
It's good. It's not for the kids. That presupposes like that's one for the adults watching. There's never been an adult. We're the first adults that have ever seen this.
Maybe. But everyone loves Beowulf.
Yeah, that's timeless.
You knew Beowulf when you were like 9 in the 90s? Shit,
I was kind of a Dungeons and Dragons nerd at that age. I probably knew Beowulf.
Yeah, maybe the name, possibly. That would have, yeah.
You guys
at least it wasn't like
schools.
so over our heads, just kind of barely.
Oh, it wouldn't have been from school. It would have been from a Time Life book on spooks and ghosts or whatever.
Right.
Or ancient fables of...
I just like that they're throwing one in for the adults, but like this, by its very nature, is like an adult would just be, no, I am not watching this. Like, but they didn't vet our media in the 90s. They were... This could have been a nonstop video of those chimps like attacking and killing those dogs.
Probably, to be honest.
Definitely happened.
The one guy's voice, it's like I was going back on and I was like, is this racist? I can't tell. The guy who keeps doing the like it's kind of the like Ricky Ricardo kind of voice. I can't explain it.
Oh, right.
But it's clearly like a white guy. I don't know. It's just kind of foreign. I think it's maybe him just doing like Latka, just sort of like random foreign guy voice. But he
for 1991, it was nowhere close to racist. It wouldn't have even occurred to him it was racist.
Yeah, that's probably true. You're right. But he really leans into it a lot during this whole tape.
Yeah.
It just kind of keeps coming in and out in character.
It's probably just a Ricky Ricardo thing. He's just a I Love Lucy guy.
I think so.
I would think.
I think so. Probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dog News Tonight is great. Then what else? Wait, and then there's Thirst Patrol, right? So again, this might have been in one of the extended cuts, but Thirst Patrol was the bit that it was like an America's Most Wanted parody, being the style.
Oh,
at the time.
love this one.
And
this
that
is
one's
such
great.
a good premise.
Yep.
I think this is one that like really kind of like solidified it for me. Was because it's that parody, that style where it's like wanted. Kool-Aid Man, alias blah, 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 alias blah, blah, blah. He is known for breaking through, for causing property damage all around the country, blah. Then it's like interviewing blurred faces. Again, just stock footage of news of people being like, Kool-Aid Man ruined my life or whatever, right? That's like, and that's,
right.
There's something that as a 9-year-old brain breaking.
That's great today. I don't know, like
it's still good,
revisiting the Kool-Aid every time the Kool-Aid Man bursts through a wall and then having somebody be like, my business is ruined. Like, I don't know what we're gonna
especially
do.
now, have you seen the recent, like as of this year, the Kool-Aid Man challenge, a local news footage that's been going on? It's hilarious.
No.
It started, I don't know if it's real. It's one of those things where it's like, is this a real phenomenon or is local news believing a bunch of kids on TikTok who made up a fake,
a
fake problem called the Kool-Aid Man Challenge, but there is footage of it, so it had to have happened at least a few times where kids will see a fence and just slam into it and then like walk away. It's so
like intentionally.
Yes, for sure. Like their whole thing is like, we're doing the Kool-Aid Man, which is amazing that it's now. It's like Gen Alpha or Gen Z at the oldest, which is kind of a beautiful
timeless
thing. And so local news coverage now sounds like this, where they're like, they call it the Kool-Aid Man Challenge and your kids can't get enough of it or whatever it is. So that makes it especially...
I do think it's a solid comedic concept. Like it feels like an above average Jerry Seinfeld bit to be like, how do we let this Kool-Aid Man walk among us after destroying everyone's walls?
That's exactly it, yeah.
They do another like elimination number picking trick.
And then they come back to it, which I forgot about.
It's like worse. It's like the first one was like, pick between burgers and pizza and Kool-Aid. And this one's just like, pick between 1 and 9. And I'm like, I feel the walls closing in on this trap. I've seen this before.
Yeah.
It's like the same guy inviting you into the same van. Like, I know what you're up to.
But it's also less tempting. It's like the guy's run out of candy, and he's like, "Do you want to just take a spin for old time's sake?" Like, no, man, at least have the candy.
But I do remember, completely forgot about this, that my brother, for like a what do you call it, talent show, used this exact technique for it to do like a magic trick for the audience. So it did go into the real world, and you know, we hopefully
did people clock it? Did someone scream, "That's just the fucking Kool-Aid man trick"?
Not even close.
Amazing.
Absolutely not. I'm sure we got away with it. God, I'm sure there's footage of that somewhere. I should find that. But yeah, that's so again, this really stuck with this, just completely stuck with us for years. And it's funny how even years later, like a few years ago, I was working over at Super Deluxe, a now twice defunct internet company, and we had a guy come in one day. I have no idea who he was. I don't remember why he was there, but we were meeting with him, and he was like, I just met with, and this was like when, you know, digital video was kind of in its heyday, 2016, that era kind of thing of like BuzzFeed, Vice, all that stuff. And he was like, I was just like a couple days ago working over at Pepsi. He was like a freelance director, editor guy. And he was like, I was over talking with Pepsi, and I was in this office and I was confused on what they wanted from me. And they were like, well, look, here's the thing. Everybody knows Pepsi's poison. That's not like a secret anymore. So I don't know. We're just going to make content now. Like that was the guy's entire thing, is like, we have money. Do you want to make money? Just making, I don't know, just something online, something Pepsi. And it's amazing how like that has not changed since probably the 40s. But it's incredible how it's like, that's what this was. This was clearly a line item on some like synergy. Kool-Aid and KB Toys should merge because of some reason. There was some like sponsorship thing. I've like seen enough of that in my adult life of like the advertising world and how that works. It's just like, sure, sell it as a package. And then you just got to wonder, who is the production company that took it on? What else did they do? Again, we saw a little bit of it, but just endlessly fascinating.
Why didn't we give them a camera?
Yeah.
Like, make us a video. Sure. What do you want me to film? Oh, no, you do not get a camera.
You do, or we could get a camera, but that'll eat into our budget. So let's just spend as little as humanly possible and get some stock footage that maybe they owned the rights to. Who knows? Or like you said, didn't even get permission for. We will never really know, I guess.
I know a guy, hear me out here, who's got footage of just thousands of chimps dying in really funny ways.
Let's see that if we finally wrap up the dumb DeLuise, we talked about that. And then we get, it goes at that very moment on the other side of town, and we get, so it's alarmingly strange, of stop motion footage of guys squatting down the highway on invisible motorcycles. This is probably the one you found, right, Brockway?
Yeah,
this one I found too. Yeah.
Oh, you found the original creators of it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Incredible.
Yeah, and they're awesome. You'll love them. They're Len Jansen and Chuck Menville, who wrote and produced the real Ghostbusters cartoon.
What? Really?
Yeah.
And this
so cool.
This one in particular, so this whole thing is they're pretending to be on invisible motorcycles using like stop motion to, you know, just squat along the road over and over again. So this just blew out the quads of dozens of men. But
for sure.
It's like, it's extremely high effort, which is why I had to go like, okay, I got to look this one up. This is for something else, because it's got nothing to do with Kool-Aid. It's the least, it doesn't even say punch in it. Like
no, and it feels really 70s, right? Like it just, everything about it, and it was, but yeah, you can just kind of tell, like it's
1967.
1967, yeah, I'm looking them up now, and it's like,
well, this was
he
the
did everything.
sequel.
Hong Kong Phooey, Fat Albert. Oh, but this was a sequel. So wow, so there's...
This was a sequel to they originally did a short film where two men pretended to do this with cars. They pretended to be in cars and drove around the street like this. And then they actually got nominated for an Academy Award for it.
Holy shit.
For the original one?
Sure.
For the original one which was exactly this, but they were pretending to be in cars instead. And they were like,
so awesome. Oh,
and that's what got them their huge. They broke them out huge. They got jobs doing this kind of stop motion all over the place. Like this was what they did. And then they tried to come back, and it's like, this is one of my favorite things, is when people find sort of an accidental success at something and they have no idea why, but they're like, okay, we got to replicate that. So they came back and were like, okay, exact same thing, but this time with motorcycles. And then it wound up here at the end of a Kool-Aid KB Toys promotional video. So they went with the same
sidestep from the Academy Award.
The same concept. They went from the Academy Awards, the very next iteration, the end of a Kool-Aid promotional video. It's the most hubris has ever cost anybody. It's incredible.
Yeah, that's really funny.
But it seemed like it worked out for them. They worked on so many things.
Yeah, no,
Tiny
it didn't
Toons,
ruin them.
Slimer Than the Real Ghostbusters, which I loved as a kid. The Dumb and Dumber cartoon, Sonic Underground. Wow, it just keeps going. So they had a great career. But yeah, again, that's just like an incredible thing of when you make something like that, even an Academy Award nominated short, where is that going to go? Yes, into some clip house. It's wild. It's just endlessly fascinating me of how the economics of that worked. You know?
And if either of them are still alive, I'm going to send them this video and they're going to sue the shit out of Kool-Aid.
Yeah, please.
It's fun. Great video. A lot of it cursed. A lot of it is just silent film actors making funny faces or just very talented filmmakers from a long time ago doing visual gags or just guys killing monkeys. Just footage of dogs and men killing monkeys.
But it just seems like something that shouldn't exist, right? I think that's what it really comes down to, is that when you look at it all, it's like this weird hodgepodge of all of these things we've been talking about. None of it makes any sense. And once again, this was all for the purpose of advertising flavored powdered sugar. Cannot stress how funny that is.
Two children who had already consumed hundreds of packets of that powdered sugar.
Already on board.
You had to be on board.
Yeah. We had to be to get this far.
You were literally already drinking the Kool-Aid.
Einstein, Hunter, Frankfurt. Einstein, Hunter, Frankfurt. Unser Podcast genau. Und mit maximalen Schau. Sag Frankfurt Podcast. Korrekt. Ja. Der Kraft ist nicht ohne. Schick die in die Hundesau. 4 eine Stunde.